boyfriend conveniently waited until we were engaged before telling me that he has a fart fetish.
That's actually amazing.
Wait, is this one of yours too?
No, but like, how funny is that? I mean, the fact that he held it in, pun intended, for that long, and he waits until they're engaged, and he's just like,
he don't want to scare her off.
By the way, just drops the bomb.
Literally.
Got it. Okay, maybe I'm the immature one.
My 25 female boyfriend turned fiancé, 31 male, have been engaged for just under a month. On Thursday, he divulged to me that he has a fetish for women farting. More specifically, women farting during sex. No, it's going to be a no for me, dog. I overcame the initial...
I feel like I've heard about that before, though. Like, that doesn't sound that crazy.
I've heard about, like, people pooping on, like, someone's chest. Like...
I didn't think that one was real. I've heard about that. I thought that one was not real.
So I'll probably, have him on an episode down the road. But my boyfriend's roommate, Austin, like...
Your boyfriend poops on your chest.
No, God, with his bowel issues, no, never. But Austin, his roommate, he's very open about his sex and sexuality. And like, he was talking about like this group sex experience he had. And he's like, yeah, I got pooped on once. And I'm like...
Wow.
Not on purpose, like total accident.
Oh, okay.
And so,
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
I mean, I think an accident, everyone's into their own kinks and, to each their own, but.
Right. So that's why it's like, if it's a kink, then it's kind of like, okay, weird, but.
That's your kink.
Yeah, but it's an accident. Now it's embarrassing.
Yeah, that is true. There was no consent to be pooped on. If there's consent, it's a little different.
Yeah, that's true.
I overcame the initial shock and managed to hide my disgust for long enough to hear him out. After he finished explaining himself, I made it very clear to him that I am not comfortable with that fetish and will not be doing that for him. He acknowledged that. I'm starting to think I may need to rethink this relationship. If I won't indulge his fetish, then how will he? I don't mean to kink shame, but certain things are just too far. It's a huge turnoff for me, and I haven't been able to look at him the same since he told me, or even think about having sex with him. Maybe I'm being too judgy and I need to calm down, but I'm angry that he kept this from me for years of dating and waited until we were engaged to tell me something like this. Yeah. It's a red flag. It's manipulative. And it makes me wonder what else he could be keeping from me. Plus, marrying a man who has a fetish would be a deal breaker for many. Sexual compatibility is one of my top priorities. What should I do? I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think
if she knows that's like one of her top priorities is sexual compatibility.
And I'm with her on that. Yeah. You can't go
She's being really rational.
Oh, so rational. Mm-hmm. And I also think like it is a red flag. If that's something you're into, like he's already waited for, sounds like they dated for a couple of years. So he's already at least waited 2 years to even tell her that's his fetish. Like why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you need to be really open with your partner, especially when it comes to sex and stuff like that. Yeah. So why?
I think that because it seems like she's using the word manipulation. And while that could be true, I don't think that's completely fair because I'm thinking that he's probably just really embarrassed and scared. And it was probably not until that he got engaged that he was like,
I'm comfortable enough with this person.
Like this is going to be someone who's not just going to like think I'm a freaking weirdo and go and tell everyone and make fun of me. LOL, we're all talking about it.
Little does he know.
So I think that it's a really scary thing for some people to disclose their fetishes because they are very taboo and just kind of weird and so I mean I think that, but she has every right to be like, but that's not fair to me and feel betrayed by just him not communicating earlier because it's like you feel like when you get engaged to someone, you're supposed to feel like you really know them like inside out for like the good portion, you know? And so to not know something about that where he makes it seem like a fetish is something that's important to you, in my opinion. That's not something like if he was like, oh, it kind of turns me on. But because he's saying it's a fetish of his, that makes it seem like, okay, that's something that he really enjoys and that's important to him in a sexual relationship.
Also, where does he want to be farted on? Like, does he want to be farted on in his face? Does he just want you to fart when you're on top of him? What is the... I need more info.
I'm picturing it like from behind. You know what
doggy?
I mean? Yeah.
Doggy style. I just like at that point, I'd be worried about getting pink eye. I don't know. There's also an easy fix to this. She doesn't actually have to fart. She could just buy one of those little fart machines with a clicker. Just hide it under the bed. Just click, 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 click.
See, I think he likes to watch it happen. I feel like that's more of it. Based off of what I've heard about stuff like that, like I feel like it's more of the watching it happen. That's why I was thinking doggy. So I don't think it's the noise.
Oh, which reminds me.
You know what I mean?
Okay, did you see, this was like a big thing on TikTok too, where people were like talking, they're like, when you're doing doggy, ask your boyfriend, but he's watching your butthole.
Ew.
Yeah, because apparently your butthole pulses.
Ew.
Yeah, so guys stare at your butthole when you're in
this
doggy.
conversation now. I'm over it. Let's move on. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, so text your boyfriend and be like, do you stare at my butthole when we're doing it doggy style?
No, I refuse. Don't put these ideas in my head.
Text him. I asked my boyfriend, he goes, no. And I'm like, why are you so normal, or are you lying? But I don't think he's lying. Like, he's just so normal. He doesn't, like, the only fetish he has is, like, tall stockings and, like, garters.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that's it.
Have you ever seen that TikTok where a guy says that they pull the skin around their balls out and they make it into a cup, and, like, when they're in the shower, and then they make a little cup of water in the shower? And so you said that you asked Justin that, and he was like, no. I asked my boyfriend, and I asked my boyfriend, he's like, oh yeah, of course.
How'd you know?
He's like, yeah, there's no chance that, like, not everyone's done that. He goes, Justin's a liar.
I know. Justin, do you make water?
No,
I do it with my boobs.
Really?
Yeah, like when I'm in the shower, I'll like my boobs are.
Yeah, because you have nice big boobs. That's never even crossed my mind.
No, so you just like put your arms under your boobs and then just like let it fill up like a little water bowl.
Oh,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you like bring your arms out and all the water goes splash.
I'm gonna try that and see if it works with me.
It's just a weird. God, too much info. I hope my family isn't listening.
I hope that every day, but it's just not true.
Okay, second chance on the fart fetish.
Yes.
I would give this one a second chance.
Yeah.
I think he's worthy.
He's not doing anything evil. He's just like explaining and he's scared.
I'm not personally into it, but
like, yeah, I mean, if she, it just depends how it plays out, because if she's like, this is an absolutely no, like an ultimatum, I will never be down to even explore this. And if this is like an ultimatum for him where he's like, he will only be satisfied if this happens, because it's like one of those things, like you don't want him to go off and like look at stuff online to like get his satisfaction.
Yeah,
like that kind of sucks.
That's kind of sad.
I mean, it can work, but like it still kind of sucks.
I think there's ways around this. Like I haven't gotten to this level of comfort yet where I'll comfortably fart around my boyfriend. It's been 2 years, but like I'm just not there yet, because I'm not. I don't know. I just remember the one time I've never tried to fart around any of my boyfriends, but one time I was walking and
I was walking
and you can only clench your butt cheeks so hard sometimes. Yeah. And so I farted and he like looked at me and he's like, did you just fart? And I'm like, no, it was my flip flop. And I was like, Minnesota in the summer, wet grass flip flop. I'm like, it could have been plausible.
Yeah.
Could have been plausible. And he looks at me, he goes, no, you just farted. And so then it was like, once you break.
Which boyfriend was this?
My first high school boyfriend. Okay. First one.
I'm picturing one of the Tree brothers.
No, not one of them. But I got to that comfort level. But I don't know. It's just like I haven't cracked the seal on Justin and farting in front of him yet. But I think I have, because sometimes I'll like fart in my sleep and I'll like literally scare myself awake because
no way.
When I sleep, I'm just thinking, don't fart in front of Justin. Mm-hmm. Don't fart in front of Justin. And I'll literally scare myself awake. You know when you're like kind of sleeping but not sleeping?
Yeah.
And then I fart and I'm like, is he awake?
It's so funny. I'm the complete opposite. And like, this goes back to our first episode when we were talking about the guy who poops in the shower.
Silent but deadly, or loud.
Yeah, no, and how I was just like, if I had that happen, like I would poop back, see how he likes it. And so Jeff loves to fart in front of me, like loudly.
Yeah.
Like it sounds animated how loud it is, but it never smells, so that's good. But however, I just feel like it's rude. And so every time,
if he's aggressively pushing them out,
he is. He's aggressively pushing them out. I'm like,
I'm
like, you didn't even try. And he's like, it slipped. He says that every time. It slipped.
You have a weak anal sphincter, then, buddy.
And so I get so mad because I'm like, I'm like, do you not love me? Like, and I'm joking, but like, and so then now I fart in front of him because I'm like, I hope it fucking smells, bitch.
Dish it right back.
Literally, I'm like, learn your lesson. I'm like, if you want this to stop, you know what you can do.
Yeah, my aunt, I think she's been with her husband now for like 20 years, 25 years, but like married for at least 15. And she still has never farted in front of him.
No way.
Has never.
She's lying to you.
No. He will tell you the same thing. Never heard Maggie fart.
How?
I don't know.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I mean, she seems like she doesn't have any
Farting's like
stomach
my favorite
issues.
pastime.
Yeah. To each their own on that one. I'm sure I'll crack
kidding,
the seal. He sends me videos too of these like TikToks of this one the other day. It was like this girl backing her butt up to her boyfriend and the boyfriend being like, I'm ready for your farts. And I'm like, you're showing me this shit because I know you hear me fart in my sleep. And he's like, no, I promise I never have. And I'm like,
that's so funny. I wonder why, I don't know, because you're so comfortable with him in every way.
I know.
In so many ways.
I don't know.
So I'm just like, what? It's so funny to me that is like the one thing that's just like, nope.
Because I don't have silent but deadlies typically.
They're just loud.
They're both. Like,
okay.
I feel like if
I mean, everyone has had both. Come on.
Yeah, but I feel like if they're silent, they smell. And I feel like if they're loud, they still smell. I just, there's no winning either way. So I don't fart in front of him because you just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's a magic 8 ball.
Yeah.